Now, those gas leaks from the all-important Nord Stream pipelines linking Russia and Europe continue, and now Swedish authorities are reporting a fourth leak, with sabotage being blamed again. Worryingly, some German officials believe the scale of damage has made the pipelines unusable forever, prompting major concerns about Europe's already uncertain energy future. Here's the latest from Euronews.
The Swedish Coast Guard says a fourth leak has been detected in a Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline running through the Baltic Sea. An official told Sweden's Svenska Dagbladet newspaper that two of the leaks are in Danish waters, and now two are on the Swedish side of the maritime border. It's the latest in a series of such incidents, which Western governments are calling sabotage and are blaming Russia. Nord Stream 1 and 2 were built to supply Germany and other European countries, but their operation has been suspended following Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
Joining me now to unpick this and other issues is the founder of Peter Jennings Strategy Consultants. Thanks for joining us again, Peter. Tell us your best estimate of what strategically is going on here. Who would be sabotaging these pipelines and why?
I wish I could tell you. It's a mystery. I think the country which seems to be the most likely culprit is the country which is most prone to engaging in this type of illegal international behaviour, and that's Russia. But even in that context, it's hard to understand what's going on. I'll venture a theory, Chris, which is this. I think we're seeing Vladimir Putin's grip on power become more and more tenuous as he fails in his attempt to subject Ukraine to takeover. And what we could be seeing is actually cracks inside the Russian system. We've already seen the assassination of the daughter of a significant advisor to Vladimir Putin, Daria Dugin. Now we're seeing the destruction of, one of Russia's most important economic pipelines to Europe. I just wonder if this is not some sort of internal effort which is ultimately designed to show that Putin is no longer in control of the Kremlin. But, absent more information, it's really hard to know, other than to say it's not a random sort of terror attack. We're talking about something at sea, hundreds of metres below the ocean surface. This is not something that can easily be done, Chris.
No, but of course, countering the Russian theory, and a lot of fingers pointed at Russia, but this, when things settle down, or whenever they choose to, this is a source of great income, great wealth to Russia. Also, it's its main leverage over Europe, so it would seem to be harming itself. Your theory about Putin, it will please a lot of people because they figure if you can get rid of Putin, maybe you can deal sensibly with Russia. But by the same token, if that pressure is unfolding around Putin now, he could be even more unpredictable and volatile, couldn't he?
Yes. Well, I've also heard a theory, Chris, that it's actually the Russian company Gazprom which would be able to send an explosive in the pipeline to that particular location. Why would they do that? Well, perhaps to demonstrate to the Europeans that they cannot deliver gas and therefore can't be fined for failing to meet their contract. Also note a number of Gazprom senior officials that have mysteriously died in the last few months. Look, it's all speculation, but really what it tells you is that we've got a fragile society in the Russian Federation with lots of violent forces pent up. And I think we just have to wait to see, quite frankly, what happens from this, other than that it says nothing good about the stability of Putin's rule at the moment.
It also says if you want to be a secure nation, you want to think seriously about your own energy security too. I want to get your thoughts while we've got you, Peter, on what's happening in Iran. The protests are continuing, as are the crackdowns. Where are we headed?
Well, we shouldn't assume that that means the Iranian regime is on the skids, because there have been a number of protests in the past, including in 2009 for the so-called Green Revolution, which the Iranians put down, and then more recently in 17 and 18, which was over economic issues. Where I think we're going with Iran over the next couple of years is we will see a leadership change. The supreme leader, Ali Rafsanjani, is 83. He's been very sick. He seems to have recovered just sufficiently to go off to the United Nations General Assembly in the last few weeks, but he is going to be replaced. And that's going to lead to leadership turmoil at the top. And I think what the riots show is that under the leadership, you have an Iranian population which is getting fed up with the control of the Ayatollahs. And one could never rule out the possibility that, you know, the regime is going to be challenged and threatened. And the more widespread these riots go, you know, the more risk to the future stability of the regime.
Yeah, it's a worrying situation. Thanks so much for joining us, Peter. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Chris. My pleasure.
Peter Jennings there live from Canberra.